sunshine and I'll shit on your parade. Don't get me started on doing Michael Caine. My opinion matters, yours will fall in last place. I'm not shutting up and you'll be learning my name. Fifth in the family, but first in my mind. 1 out of 10, but I'm ranking just fine. We've only got now, there's no afterlife. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm just speaking my mind. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. Everyone's coming on Kyle tonight. Wait, what? No, nobody's coming on Kyle tonight. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shoot up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Everything's coming up Kyle tonight. You can't shut this mouth, but you're welcome to try. I only stop talking to drink, smoke, or eat and cry. I'll never shut up, gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die. Gonna talk till I die.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
You have a lot of effect on your voice.
Do I?
Not you.
Oh, Richards?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Richard's here.
It's me.
It's Richard.
Hello.
Hello, Richard. Hi. Surprise guest for everybody on this wonderful 19th episode of Season 2 of Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. Richard's going to be hanging out with us tonight. Nothing to promote, right, Richard? Not talking about anything? You have nothing to add.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add?
Nothing to add.
All right, good. Well, welcome, as I said, to Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up. I am your host, Kyle Mocha. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Justin Olimpado.
Hello.
Hey, brother, how you doing today?
I'm good.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's been going on? Anything? You dealing with allergies
man.
at all? You dealing
No,
with
no allergies. I've been good there.
You've been good there? You're
Work
lucky.
Transitioning into a different job.
Yeah, you're doing summer camp again.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's starting off. How's that going so far?
I don't know. I haven't started yet.
You haven't started yet?
This week.
All right. Well, that's good. So you're going to be all sorts of tired in different ways when we do this show.
Probably.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great summer for all of us. And you're just going to be asleep at the wheel.
Yeah.
I can't
Is that any
wait.
different
No,
than any other day?
No. I think we're all pretty much asleep at the wheel most days. That's why I can't drive, actually. Nah, that's wrong. We all know it's because I drink too much. And also joining us every week is Mr. Zachary.
Oh, fuck his cat!
Stormin. Fuck this cock Stormin. Oh, that was the company that made the video games, right? Capcock? Capcock, yeah. Oh, Capcom, never mind. That was that.
Cabbage. That stands for Cabbage Communications.
Cabbage
They were
Communications?
originally set up to try to turn heads of cabbage into a communication device.
I believe it.
They used to like peel the cabbage leaves back and write secret messages in them.
Ooh.
Fold them back up
And then, would you set them in the mail or just leave them on the side of the road and wait for someone to find it?
No, this was like in ancient times.
Ancient times? I'm not sure if you're full of shit right now or not. I think he is.
It's a conspiracy, I think.
It is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
I'm drinking
Is
this
there still
beer
a
already.
conspiracy?
Oh,
I don't know
you
if I
broke
wasn't-
into a beer. Okay, so we've got
what
a
do you got
plethora.
there?
We've
What
got
are
a
you
plethora
I didn't
of
have
beer
a
right
beer
now.
here.
Oh.
Which one are you drinking?
There's three. There's the beers we're gonna drink that are special, and then just beers.
Oh yeah, well the just beers I left in the fridge, unfortunately.
Well, usually
but
they're out.
Yeah, usually they are.
I cracked one.
You cracked one. What did you crack into?
When do we have to wait for this?
Well, I mean, we don't have to wait for it. We can all start cracking into anything.
Elysian Space Dust
Elysian
IPA.
Space Dust IPA. So we're gonna get started.
The slogan is "Get Dusted."
The slogan is "Get Dusted," so we figured it was a good
is there a
for the
bottle opener over
episode
there?
that we were doing. No, I got a lighter. I was
Is
just
that
I
their
can't see that,
slogan or
dude.
is that our slogan?
It's
terrible
on
with that
the 6-pack holder. It says "Get Dusted."
It does.
But yeah, we're drinking the Elysian on the 6-pack holder. On the side of it, I believe, says "Get Dusted."
It does say "Get Dusted."
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. And it's all sparkly and weird. So the theme for tonight's episode is we decided is getting dusted. Yeah, we decided that we were going to write a song that was kind of a psychedelic feel. It's springtime, as Zach put it, springtime psychedelia.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was to get that into the autocorrect?
Yeah, they really don't like that word. I tried it. I was making the ad for Instagram, and I wrote time for some springtime psychedelia, and they really did not want me to write the word psychedelia. And then I started thinking, did Zach just make up the word psychedelia?
Possibly.
It's incepted in my brain now that you are in control of creating words like psychedelia.
Maybe that's a Mandela effect. It was
might
a
be.
word where I came from, but now it's
Used to
not.
be.
You merged with our timeline, and now it is not a word. Like the Berenstain Bears or Stain Bears or
Yeah,
whatever.
they weren't spelled
They
that
said
way.
psychedelia in Shazam a lot.
They did? Oh, I've not
the
seen
new one?
Shazam.
I haven't
Have
seen
not
it. I heard
it.
it's good.
No,
Yeah.
the one with Sinbad.
With Sinbad?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Kazam?
That's
Wasn't that Kazam?
that's an
Yeah,
easy one to
Kazam.
dispel.
Yeah.
Kazam.
When he plays the
Kazam?
rapping genie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's Kazam. I'm pretty sure.
I had it wrong.
Hey, he was great in that film. He was wonderful. I just wish that the Sinbad genie movie was a real one, because that's the one that everyone thinks exists
You know
somewhere.
what
and it
I
doesn't.
wish wasn't real? The Will Smith is the genie movie.
Yeah, that really doesn't look like it's going to be fun.
It looks so
now
bad, dude.
the
I don't
blue.
like Aladdin in it either.
Well, I don't like
I don't
any
even know who he
casting.
is.
I don't like the live action
casting.
look.
He
to
doesn't
it.
look good. Aladdin doesn't really look the part.
You can tell it's just actors in a fucking green room.
Yeah, but honestly, the worst
Like-
thing about the casting, aside from Will Smith's
No, it can be done good.
weird fucking body and like the whole just him going blue just looks terrible. The guy who plays Jafar is like 35 years old. Like he is not an old decrepit.
Should have been Ben
bitter-
Kingsley.
It should have been Ben Kingsley. Oh my God, Ben Kingsley. He was the
Sir
mandolin
Ben
in
Kingsley.
Iron Man 2. Or the Mandarin, not mandolin, Mandarin.
He was Gandhi in Gandhi.
Yeah, he would be perfect for that.
he'd be
100%.
awesome.
Oh, well, as we were saying, we're going with a psychedelia theme tonight. So we chose 2 different beers that are going to be consumed this evening.
Which
the
this
first,
one is very good.
Elysian Space
I'm
Dust.
enjoying
It is an IPA. I've not I've cracked it open, but I've not taken a sip. So I'm going to take a sip right here.
It's not bitter.
Speaking of IPAs,
Like
guys,
it doesn't have a bitter end to it.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
earthy. It's got a good natural flavor there too. It really doesn't smack you too hard in the face with the hops on there. Not too bad. Speaking of IPAs, guys.
I do want to tell you about
Yeah.
the Galaxy Fog
Oh, yeah.
from them boys.
Over at Abomination
Oh,
Brewery.
Abomination.
Yeah.
I was blessed
You were
good
blessed.
beers.
with 2 cans of beer
Just
from
2
the
of
man
them.
himself.
Just 2 of them from Joe.
Just saying hi. Give me 2 cans of beer.
Not 2 more, not 3 more, just
Yeah.
2.
2 different cans of beer.
I've had the same blessing.
And Zach drank both of those cans
Oh,
of beer.
I did.
He stops
did.
by, he gives you 2.
He gives you 2?
Yeah.
See, I was gonna get 2
wonderful.
today. Didn't wind up working out, but everybody should be aware that Abomination Brewery, starting today, is getting sold in state stores, so it's going to be more readily available. I think he said something like 270 cases that they had made, but they're going to be, that might be a way wrong number, but I think that's what he said last night.
So what you're saying is we have to make an actually good beer with them.
No, I think we still need to make a bad beer. We still need to make a bad
I think
beer.
we still need to
A
do
good
both.
one and a bad one, but the
Yeah.
bad one's going to be way more important. So I want to get onto that. We've discussed this way in the past when they were on the air that they would come over or wherever they can do it and brew a beer
Yeah.
for us specifically, that they would not bottle or can, and they would
Right.
not make it ever again. It would be specifically for us for a one-time only event. And we decided, because we're sadistic assholes, that we're each going to choose one ingredient and not tell the other person what the ingredient is going to be, and then we're going to give it to them, and they have to make the beer in whatever style they see fit the ingredients.
So you're doing chopped with beer.
Yes, but
That's awesome.
they have to make it. They can use however much of which one, whatever they think is going to work best for the palate, and they can try to make it as good of a beer as they possibly can. But we're not going to tell each other what we pick. So it's like one of us might pick garlic and the other picks blueberries.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of a great one. Bone marrow.
Bone marrow. Ooh, that's an expensive fucking flavor.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
Can you get one bone? Can you just get one bone?
Sure, you
get
can go
enough
to a
marrow out of
restaurant
that?
and buy.
Just buy
I'm
the
sure you
bones.
can find
You
somebody
can go
that'll sell
to
you
a
bone.
lot of places
You
and buy
could like
bones.
buy
Graveyards
meat
that
make
are
a rack
get
of
some
ribs,
bones.
needing to make
and
room,
boil it out.
Any graveyard
Yeah,
that's
sure.
all
It
stocked
doesn't have to
up
be
and they need
human
to
bone marrow.
get I was thinking human bone marrow. Never mind. I was thinking human bone marrow.
That's where I went too.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought. Is we were just chopping off
Well, we'll
legs to
all
make
chop
some
off
beer.
our pinky toes
All
because we
right.
don't really
Okay.
need
We
them.
don't need those. We don't need
and
those.
we'll take the small amount of marrow out of the pinky toes.
Yep.
Yeah, that would make my feet not as wide.
Yeah, that's what I think about all the time. Is if I just cut half my foot off, it wouldn't be that wide of a foot.
I have a hard time finding shoes. I got wide feet.
I do as well. I'm supposed to be like an 11 and a half, 12, but I usually have to go 13 on most shoes because just fat feet, fat feet.
And they fucking
Fat,
sell
flat
out
feet.
so fast, man.
Oh, if you find a wide anywhere, you're
Yeah.
fucking
The fucking
lucky.
flat foot gang here.
The flat foot.
I'm not a
flat
member.
foot,
Just
fat
letting the
foot
listeners
gang.
know.
Oh, Zach's not.
Not
a
saying there's anything wrong with having flat,
Well,
wide feet.
But
I got
anyway,
stupid feet.
check
I got
out
hobbit
Abomination Brewing, and it's going to be sold
Oh,
in
you
stores
your feet
all
are
over
so
the place.
silly, Richard.
All over the place in the state as
So
much as they
silly.
can. So they're going to be having much better things coming out soon, and hopefully one of them will be one of our beers. We will make a good one, but
Yes.
we're definitely going to be making a shitty one just for fun. Now, something I wanted to talk about a little bit, which we were discussing before I showed the video to Justin. There's this wonderful video that if you've not seen it, wait till the show's over, wait an hour and a half, and look this up. It's called Motley Crue Sounds Like Bob Dylan. And it is, I think it's kind of like a compilation of different concerts, but it's all basically just Vince Neil on stage looking like a fucking meatball, shaking his jiggly fat arm in all leather, looking hilarious, looking like a bus driver, right? And he just sounds like Bob Dylan now.
I've seen a lot of
Right.
memes with him lately.
It is, but he was singing "Kickstart My Heart," and it's just like, oh yeah,
Yeah, he sounds like Cartman at times.
He does.
Cartman
It sounds like
mixed with
Cartman
fucking-
and Bob Dylan.
It
had a
doesn't sound
fucked
like
up
a
baby.
good Bob Dylan, though.
No, it's not a good
No.
Bob
No,
Dylan.
he is
Not a good
struggling,
Bob
dude.
Dylan.
Like he is.
He's out of breath.
Yeah.
He is sweating. Looks like he's drunk as hell and just twisted off of anything
Dude.
else. Maybe.
That was also a really unfortunate performance. Like the way they mixed it.
True,
Yes.
true. They
Like,
cut up all of.
You
the
think they
shit.
would have done him a favor and put him a little more in
Yeah,
the
just
mix
drop him
on
a little
the recording
bit.
of it?
You got backup singers. We see them.
Throw a little more
Throw them
reverb
up.
in there,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, they just have him on top and dry his balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not gonna. I'm sure.
You know,
I'm sure
like,
the other
they didn't
three
do him
members
any
of the
favors.
band could have done the vocals just as good, if not better, than he did. You could have just had all.
I think
of them
any of
singing
us
along.
in this room could have done the
Really,
vocals better
we
than he
Probably.
did.
really could have, and I've already proven
Or all
that
of
I
us doing
can't sing like
harmonies
that.
together.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Vince Neil, you're being challenged.
Acapella, fucking
The four of us
Motley
are coming to
Crue?
replace you as the lead singers of Motley Crue. So a lot of Motley Crue stuff has been floating around lately because they did have that movie that came out on Netflix. Justin, have you got a chance to watch it?
I have not.
You've not watched it. Richard, have you watched The Dirt yet? You've not watched it, and Zach, you have not either.
No, we should talk about things in the show that we have.
Well, what I wanted to say,
One time in the future.
what I wanted to say is,
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. It
Okay,
was good,
okay.
and I'm the one that knows the least about Motley Crue, so I can't really compare it to whether it was like true to fact. I don't really know anything about them.
You weren't there, man.
I wasn't there, man. I'm not super into that. But I was thinking with the way that things are going in movies, we're getting a lot of these stories of musical or musical people. Again, in the early 2000s, you had Ray and Walk the Line. Those started coming out.
Right.
We just had Bohemian Rhapsody. The Dirt just came out. And the Elton John movie is going to be coming out later this year.
Are all of the big ones produced by different film studios?
Yeah, they're all just different film studios. It's just the
Okay.
way anything goes where one gets picked up and then someone goes, okay, let's option another similar story.
Yeah.
So you've got the Motley Crue story that went out, The Dirt went out on Netflix. You had the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, which I also have not seen, and the Elton John movie that's coming out, so nobody has seen it.
There's sort of the Beatles movie as well, with the Ron Howard behind the scenes sort of different take.
Really?
Yeah, you
A
didn't see
Beatles
that?
movie?
Yeah.
That's a documentary.
It's a documentary.
That's
Documentary.
It's
Oh,
not
okay.
a biopic.
It's not. It's not. No, it's not a
Biopic?
biopic.
Yeah, biopic.
But I mean,
Biopic.
That's an
yeah.
argument that people have. I say biopic.
I am the biopic man. I
I
watch
am
all
the
the
biopic.
biopics.
Only
Or it's going
biopics.
to turn into that
With
show
both
you
of
were
my
talking
optics.
about.
Well, what I was
Optic
thinking
biopics.
is that the natural progression of all of this is you just had a movie about a metal band from the 80s. You have these two very prominent gay musicians that are getting their own movies or just got their own movie. The natural progression now is to do a Judas Priest movie. Ooh. Is to do the Priest movie with
Sorry, Kat.
with Halford, right? It's Halford, right?
Rob Halford,
I always
yeah.
say Halpert, like Jim Halpert from The Office. I always go to say that, but Rob
Yeah,
Halford.
yeah.
Now, I was looking into it and just thinking maybe that this would be an interesting idea that they should pursue. And the first line that I read in his biography or his information on Wikipedia was that he started off, when they found him as their singer, he was the director of a porn theater in England. And the transition from director of a porn theater to the undercover gay lead singer, the closeted gay lead singer of one of the biggest metal bands, to then the outed gay lead singer of one of the greatest metal bands of all times, has to be an epic fucking story. It has to be an epic fucking story. And I was wondering, Justin, do you have any bands that you think that would be worthy of a cool story? Pantera.
It just has so much drama and shit going on between the band members and like.
Yeah, and it ends
Ends
it
all
ends
of
on a
them.
terrible note.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking bad. Yeah.
Well, that's the
but
thing
they
with-
could totally do a movie like that.
With The Dirt, the way it ends there is
They could.
It ends like 7-8 years ago when they reunited, and so it ends on like a high note. But realistically, again, we just watched a video where they sound like fucking Bob Dylan with like a metal band backing them. So it's all about in a story where you cut off. But for Pantera,
Def Leppard had one as well.
they made a movie about Def
Yeah,
Leppard?
so I think it was a VH1 movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. VH1 used to do a lot of those back in the day, like the Growing Up Jackson and things like that.
Yeah.
They did the Temptations movie.
Yep.
Those are always
I
fucking fun.
do
The
remember the
Temptations movie are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss that shit was cool, man.
Well, that's when
like,
they
that
used
was
to
the one
do
cool
the
thing
movie
on
of the week.
VH1.
Yeah, they used to do movie of the week for that. Disney Channel, even like ABC, all of those. That's where you got like the weird, like not quite human movies in the 80s with the fucking dad from Growing Pains, Alan Thicke.
They also did Tupac. Did they do a Tupac and Biggie movie separately?
I know that there was the
They
Biggie movie
did.
a few years ago.
I never saw that though.
Either of
I
them.
sort of
right?
came and went. And I forgot all about it.
I know they made the Biggie movie, but did they make a Tupac movie?
I don't know.
I have not seen a straight
'cause the
Tupac
dude
movie
looks
that I
just like.
know.
No, the dude that played Tupac in the Biggie movie looks like Tupac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tupac was in that. You know what I mean? The whole feud.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
it's
yeah.
about, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Now there was that that Biggie investigation movie that never got released last year, the Johnny Depp movie. It was Johnny Depp and Forrest Whitaker, and it's all about the investigation of the murder. And it was finalized, everything, and then allegations came out about Johnny Depp, something like him
the whole
hitting his
abuse
lady
shit
or
thing?
whatever
But
it was.
he's the one getting abused or whatever.
Yeah, but
Whatever
they
the fuck that
canned
is.
the entire movie. It was a month from its release, and they
dude.
canned the entire movie. And it looked really fucking good based on the book that the detective
Yeah, I didn't even
himself
know that
wrote.
was.
They maybe had previews after like a couple of weeks, and then it got pulled. But you're saying Pantera, Richard? Do you think there are any bands that you would like to see their biopic?
Biopic.
I don't know, man.
Would you like to see a Green Day biopic?
No.
Starting the
They
DIY
already
scene.
did that.
You know, it might be kind of cool.
It might be kind of cool to see them
As long as they cut it off
at
before,
Nimrod.
like, warning.
Yeah, cut it off right there.
Oh,
Cut it off.
Nimrod. There you go.
Right up to Nimrod. Time of Your Life. Close with Time of Your Life coming out with Good Riddance.
That would be good. That'd be a good way to end
And then
it.
just go, and nothing ever else was released.
Because
realistically,
that's when they blew up, right?
Well,
Good Riddance blew them up.
Well,
they
blew up.
Well, they blew
big
up,
with
but I mean,
Dookie.
that was a radio song.
That was the song that got them across the board. They weren't just a punk band anymore. They were played at proms. They were
So you
played
could
at
end
fucking
on that
weddings,
note, and
everything
it'd be
like
perfect.
that. You could do that, and
You know
then just
what I mean?
don't. Knowing them, though, they would do it, and it would end with like their Broadway debut of American Idiot.
Yeah,
it would be good.
Man.
Zach, any bands that you would like to see the biopic for?
Well, one I really wanted, we just found out is real. I just haven't seen it yet. They made the Norwegian black metal movie.
Oh yeah,
I hear bad things about that.
You hear bad?
Really?
Yeah, I've heard bad things
Culkin
about
one?
it too.
Well, how into it are you? Like the
Into
actual
black metal?
No, into the actual story.
I mean, I know the story, but I'm not going to be upset if it's not exactly like I read it on some blog somewhere.
The characters are all wrong from what I hear. I haven't seen it myself yet. I've seen clips from it.
Yeah, I've seen.
But, but apparently the characters they got completely wrong. Like,
Really?
Yeah, they make people out to like, they make the main guy out to be like way better than he was.
Okay.
Euronymous?
Yeah.
Like a better
Guy who
person
gets
than he
killed.
was?
Yeah, and then
So they're
like
basically just finding the trope that they need somebody to fill and just rewriting a character to better the story.
But at the same time, like all these black metal dudes got all pissed off about it. And I guess when the credits first started the movie, it says based on truth and lies.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
they
based on
tell
a
you
book.
right off the bat.
It's based on a book.
They tell you right
Yeah.
off the bat, like, listen,
That's
like,
respectable at least.
we're taking, we're taking this story, but we're also like making it a good movie.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Because how real life plays out isn't always going to be a
Yeah.
good movie.
Exactly.
So
Honestly,
I mean, I'm not
exactly.
going to say anything until I've seen it.
Yeah.
But
I do wanna
know
watch
a
it.
lot
I
of
wanna
black
watch it
metal
as well.
fans
They made
are
that.
like, ugh.
So that's not my pick. My pick would be the DC hardcore scene.
Okay.
Like
Scream.
the beginning of Minor Threat and how that turned into Fugazi.
Okay.
That'd be
Like
cool.
part that scene, but more
That would be cool.
Those
That would be
guys.
Like the
cool.
Ian McKay story.
The
like
Ian McKay thing, yeah.
showing them establishing like straight edge and what that was and how it got taken way out of hand. Lead up to the FSU. Oh, that would be fun. That would be good times.
Besides the CBGB's movie,
Oh,
has
that
there
was
been
pretty
other?
good.
I enjoyed
Yeah, I
that.
enjoyed that
I
movie
That was
too.
sweet.
like a motherfucker.
I
on that.
like how they went into what was it? It was what was the band that they fucking signed?
Dead Boys.
Dead Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dead
kind of like what going into that was fucking rad.
Yeah.
But has there been another movie that has been about a venue like that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's another venue that. I mean, not that there's not another venue that is as storied as that, but I think that one
Has created so many.
Yeah, that one was extremely special for the scene it was in, for the time it was. I mean, I'm sure there's an equivalent in like England. I'm sure there's that we just don't know about. There's the cavern that the Beatles played at, but I think they were really the only band that kind of came out of there.
Okay.
But I'm sure you could do stories in those vein as well.
The
But yeah, I
Pink
think,
Floyd place would be a cool to have a movie about.
Yeah.
That place that they used to play when they first started, where like people would be on fucking acid and shit,
this
like
is
the
the one
whole crowd.
out in the wilderness, like the weird desert
No,
performances,
I think it's
or
just
what?
in like London.
Oh,
It's like a little, like when they first started, it's like a little
when they were
club.
playing as Tea
Oh,
Party
okay.
or whatever the hell their name
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
And
like that.
but then they did go back there and play a few times when they were bigger.
Yo, I saw the stage they played on. I went to Pompeii.
Oh yeah,
And I saw like where
Oh, yeah, I
Pink Floyd
forgot,
played
dude.
everybody.
I
there.
totally
What the
forgot
hell,
you went
Richard?
to
Now we know
fucking
what
trip.
you're talking about
Yeah.
during this final segment.
Hell yeah, dude.
This is the show that we're doing today. We're figuring it out as we go along. Richard, you
We were learning geography
you went on a
today.
crazy, awesome vacation a couple of weeks back.
I did.
You did.
It was exhausting.
Yeah. A lot of walking,
Dude, like 3 to 5 miles a day,
I
if,
bet.
Damn,
if
dude.
not more.
up and down hills, good wine.
Very good wine.
Hell yeah.
And we drank the house wine everywhere we went.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me. Like you get like a half a liter or a liter or something for like €7 or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking sweet.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, they just like give you like a whole carafe of wine for
Fuck,
like
yeah.
€5, and they're just like, yeah, you want more?
You want more?
It's like-
No, I don't. I'm in Italy because I hate wine and
No
Italian
heartburn. I mean,
food.
I don't know wine. I'm not a wine guy, you
Yeah.
know? But, I mean, I drank the house wine everywhere, and I got no heartburn,
Yeah,
so...
and I'm sure the
that
house
says it all
wine
to
in
me.
Italy
I'm sure you
is way
felt
better
way
than the
better-
house wine
yeah.
here. Yeah, if
I'm
you were
sure
just
you felt
drinking
way better
Behringer
drinking that.
everywhere, you'd be having
know what I mean?
heartburn.
Like-
and regrets on other things, I'm sure.
Not waking up feeling shitty in the
Oh,
morning.
yeah. It just leads to bad decision making. So how long were you over there for?
6 days.
6 days?
It was a short trip.
Short trip?
Still
Besides,
pretty
you
rad,
said
man.
you saw Pompeii, you went and saw Colosseum, right?
Saw the Colosseum, saw the Vatican.
You actually went into Vatican City?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yo, we did a tour underneath St. Peter's Basilica.
Anything haunted down there, you think?
Well, so the whole thing is they built St. Peter's Basilica in the 1600s, right?
Okay.
Before that, there was the old basilica. Underneath the basilica were like mausoleums.
Say basilica again.
Basilica?
Basilica.
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 The new Chevy Basilica.
But, so Emperor Constantine in the 1600s was building the new basilica, and they were like, Basilica. And they were like, listen, like, the way you want it built, it's gonna, like, cut off the 2 feet off the top of all the mausoleums. And he's like, okay. They're like, what do you mean, okay? And he's like, take them out. So he had them take all the bodies out of the basilica, put them in a mass grave outside the city, and they cut off the top 2 feet of the mausoleums.
And he was a pope?
And, like, filled it all in with dirt.
Was he a pope?
He was an emperor.
He was an emperor?
They think
Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire at that point.
So
Jesus.
in the 1940s, Pope Pius
Yeah.
the 12th,
Okay.
I believe, got
Shitty name to
a
get
bunch
12
of
times.
Nazis to dig it all up.
Whoa. What'd they do with him?
They just dug not the bodies, the mausoleums.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Should clarify that.
Yeah, I was saying. He was like, hey, Nazis, you know what would be fun to do tomorrow?
But yeah,
Dig up
so
all these old bodies.
I guess he was just having work done to like the basement of the church.
Yeah.
And they like discovered the top of one of the mausoleums.
Jesus.
And he was like, this is, from 400 years ago.
Damn.
He was like, we gotta check this out. And I guess for some reason that was like when the Nazis were invading the area and stuff.
Okay.
And they were really interested in it because how big they were into science and
Oh,
stuff
hell
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah,
So
dude.
They were
did
looking
the-
for everything.
So they excavated it, right, and turned it into a museum. Now to get into this museum, we had to apply.
Whoa. Like ahead of time? Or
Yeah,
just,
like months ahead of
Jeez.
time. We had to apply and be like, hey, we want to do this. We had to send them all our information, copies of our passports, and all this crazy shit.
Wow.
And they like vet you.
Damn.
And then, like, yeah, you only go down in groups of 10. And they do, like, maybe 8 tours a day.
Damn. How long was the tour itself?
About an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
And this guy takes you through, shows you everything. You get to see, like, all the... Because they excavated all of it, cleaned it all up and
Yeah.
all that. So you get to see all the catacombs and everything.
Holy
crazy.
shit.
You basically get to see, like, where really rich people in Rome were buried.
Damn.
They're, like, straight mausoleums. They have, like, a big, like, marble tomb in the middle of it. And it's crazy because you don't think of how close Egypt was to Rome.
Yeah, yeah.
So everything has a bunch of Roman stuff, like Roman gods and all that. And then there's like hieroglyphics everywhere.
Jeez.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You don't realize like how they kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like us to Virginia, basically. Like,
Yeah.
they're not that fucking far
you
away.
I think it was like a 2-day journey back then.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
that's way.
Oh, damn,
way
that's
closer.
closer.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's-
walk to Virginia in 2
Yeah, they
days.
just got on a
could
boat
not.
and just doop. And
Oh,
they got on a boat
yeah.
and just doop.
Yeah.
Damn,
It wasn't bad
Duped
at all.
it on a boat
Duped it
back
over
in
the
the day.
Mediterranean.
Rich, you just gave James deja vu.
You just
He
gave...
said he just got in. He's feeling good, and he just talked about that to you.
Oh
earlier
yeah, I talked
today.
about that with him earlier today.
That's what we're here to do. Give our listeners/friends deja vu for conversations they've already had with our guests/friends.
Dank Javu.
So would you say that was the most impressive thing that you saw while you were on the trip?
Pompeii.
Pompeii.
Pompeii is
Deling. It's our
Thanks for the follow.
it's our weekly.
so we got a
alert. Somebody
follow.
followed.
Thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow.
Who did that?
We don't know. Talk to us, damn it. Talk to us.
We don't bite.
So Pompeii, do they still have like the bodies
Helen
that are
Blackmore.
like encased
Oh, it's
in?
my mom.
in
Hi,
anything
Mom.
Like that? Aw, hey.
So they don't have actual bodies. So,
Okay.
so what happened is the whole area was covered with volcanic ash and rock, right? And they did like seismic studies for the areas they hadn't uncovered yet, and they were like, "Oh, there's these areas that are like blank space." They're like, so something organic was there that when the rock hit it, eventually disintegrated. And they were like, that has to be plants or bodies. So they were like, they drilled down into it, poured concrete in to fill the void, and then cut out around it.
Damn.
And when they cut out around it, they were like, "Holy shit, these are bodies."
Damn.
Yeah.
So are there like, I mean, you know, like in movies when there's like a nuclear attack, there's like the shadows like on the wall. Is there anything along those lines where there's like anything imposed on the wall from like a blast? Nothing along that side, right?
I mean, maybe there was originally.
Okay.
But you figure it was all encased in rock and ash and everything, and they had to like chisel that all the way.
This is fully excavated now.
Yeah.
I don't think people died down there, Carl. I think they just buried the people there.
Yeah.
No, they died when the volcano erupted. They were
volcano erupted, and they were all.
Dude, I totally thought we were still talking about the catacombs.
Not the catacombs.
Oh no, we're on to Pompeii, which is like Mount Vesuvius.
I know that. Yeah, I thought for a second I lost track where we were.
That's all right. We're right here.
But yeah, what do you call it? So there's these concrete casts, and all these people are like covering their faces, and or like shielding themselves.
Crazy.
The worst one, I swear to you, the worst one is there's a dog.
Oh,
that's like contorted and twisted up, and it's just like you could tell this dog is just like
running for its life.
Yeah.
Right,
not running, it's like on its back with its legs in the air, just
getting lavaed.
Yeah,
getting some magma to the face.
And I swear that hurt me way more than any of the people.
Yeah,
I saw that one. And I was like,
you like dogs more than people, so that makes
Oh,
sense.
the puppy!
Oh, the puppy! Holy shit! So did you spend like a whole day there, like exploring the area?
It's 10 square kilometers.
Damn. All right.
10 square kilometers, this place. And it is literally a city. There's streets you can walk up and down. You can see where the shops were. You can like go to different people's houses.
And they don't have anything. They haven't done anything to re-inhabit that area, right? Like it was excavated. It's not like they put up like a Pompeii gift shop in what used to be a building.
There is a little but they put it in an area where there wasn't anything.
Is it just little models of the people and the dog and everything like that? Because I would buy that.
It's actually like a cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
They put in a cafeteria with like bathrooms and because I mean recommended time to spend. No spaghetti.
No spaghetti. No spaghetti.
No spaghetti.
No spaghetti.
No spaghetti.
James said he got in trouble in 6th grade for writing a paper about Pompeii.
Yeah.
But because Microsoft Word in 1998 spell checked it as pimp.
Pimp?
And you didn't notice.
When Pimp exploded.
Oh, man.
All over these people.
All over these hoes.
Oh, that would be a good definite way to get a failing grade in school. Do your paper about pimps. Oh, fuck. All right, so we're going to jump into our first...
Did you fail because the paper wasn't about pimps?
Because it had the word pimps in it, I think.
Excuse me.
Or was it because this story makes no sense?
Pimp, but I don't see any pimps in this story.
When I was in high school, I did my senior paper about Kurt Cobain and the conspiracy behind his death, and the teacher failed me because I used the word rohypnol too many times. And I was like,
why?
But he was on rohypnol, so I have to kind of say like heroin and rohypnol a lot to explain what went. It'd be like you asking me to do a paper about JFK and not say shooter or gun or knoll. Right. Like I'm gonna have to say it. Teachers are fucking. They're sensitive, man. They're too sensitive about it. They should have known that you were just doing a really in-depth paper about pimps. They should have just fucking.
I think we got excited for a
pimps
pimp
explode.
Paper, and you didn't.
That'd be even better.
James, if you want to make it up to your former self, write us an essay about pimps.
About pimps and how they explode right out of nowhere.
I did one on crop circles.
Crop circles,
but I aced that shit.
You aced it.
I got like a 90 something on a
Did
paper
you do?
about crop circles.
Did you have to do like a presentation of it all? Could you like do your own crop circle and then take pictures of it and bring it in? I had friends in high school that made crop circles. I think I had brothers in high school that made crop circles.
Nice.
I had to make
some crop circles.
Yeah, it's not too hard to do as long as you're not afraid of getting shot at by the guy watching the property.
Sick project.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so we're going to jump to our first break, and we're going to be playing music from Mr. Mike Madison, who is a solo artist out of Philadelphia. Everything that you're going to hear was written and recorded by him. He does every aspect of his music that we're going to hear. This song is going to be called The Movie Date Parts 1 and 2. And if you like what you hear, you can check out on June 9th at the Philadelphia Music Festival. He'll be playing that Sunday. And he just put out an EP that is called The Rock and Roll Sound of Marvelous Mike Madison. And that's going to be, it came out on February 20th. So you can check that out wherever you can download music. So check it out on iTunes, check it out Spotify, and also Bandcamp is where you can check out all of his music. So we're going to jump into this, the new music from Mike Madison. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
And Rich, apparently you need to make a crop circle stat.
Oh, who's saying that, Mom?
Yeah.
Mom's telling you to make a crop circle stat.
She said use the Plymouth.
Do it. Do it. Oh my, your dad won't mind. He won't mind at all.
No, he'll be fine.
No, it'll be totally cool. That's an off-road vehicle, right?
Yep.
Sure. All right, so here's the single, The Movie Date, Parts 1 and 2 from Mike Madison. See you in a couple of minutes.
Monkey M Dogs.
Mikey.
Dude, we're bros, right? Dude, bros, dude, right, dude, bros? Dude, you just gotta, like, bury the hatchet, dude. Just be chill about it, dude. I just want to see Mike fucking Madison, dude. Fuck Diplo.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
Fuck Diplo.
Fuck Diplo.
Oh, fuck yeah. So
that's
was,
a bold ass thing to say.
I like
That
it.
is.
I like it, Mike Madison. So that's his single.
I wouldn't say that in a
The
song.
movie Day Parts 1 and 2. Apparently, lyrically, the song is about how his, as he says, his wonderful and sweet girlfriend, Nif.
Nif?
Neef, sorry, Neef. It's pronounced Neef. She,
That's a cool name.
She can't get through a single movie with him, so that's what the song's about. How he can't get through a movie with his girlfriend. So it's a relatable topic for me because most people can't get through a movie with me if it's not in theaters. If I'm sitting on I don't know, you've experienced watching movies with me.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, oh yeah, that guy there, remember he was in this movie, and then that happened, and then this. Oh, the funny thing about in this scene here in the background, actually, this was going on. And everyone's just like, okay.
Which
all
I
right,
love that about
all right,
you, but
shut up.
it's a lot better after the movie.
It's better after the
Yeah.
movie, not in the middle of the movie. If I should just start taking notes when I make plans to watch a movie with somebody. Just like, all right, I'm going to bring a notepad and just sit here and journal through the movie. I'm just going to journal through the movie. But that was a fucking awesome sound. What was the comment James O said while we were listening to it? It sounds like what?
Something out of GTA London
It
1969.
really does. That is a perfect fucking way to put it. It is, as Richard's mom also pointed out, everybody's wearing go-go boots. It's definitely that feel. It felt like cruising. It felt fun. I could definitely see the go-go boots and everybody just dancing on top of the hood of a... I'm just seeing like Austin Powers. It's kind of what the feel gave to me. But he's got a lot of different music. Again, you can check him out on Bandcamp, Mike Madison. And then again, he'll be playing the Philadelphia Music Festival in June, on June 9th, which is a Sunday. So go check him out. Definitely...
Cruising in the Shagwire.
Cruising the Shagwire, yeah. Now, to kind of keep it in that vein, kind of the weird psychedelic 60s, 70s feel, we wrote another Brunch Weekly original single this week.
No, we didn't.
We didn't?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did?
we?
Okay, good. I really hope we did. If we didn't, I don't know what the fuck we were doing up there for those couple of hours. This was a very...
Beating it, probably.
Probably beating it till our meat was purple like Justin at his christening. Callbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I was never christened, bro.
Yeah, I know, but that's when they changed your name to Purple
Yeah, were you
Meat.
ever purple, dude?
Yeah, was
don't
was your
know.
dick ever purple and giant when you were a baby? Because that's the story I heard. And the priest looked at it and said we were going to go with Christopher, but we just decided Purple Meat's better for this kid. And your Christian name is Purple Meat.
Damn, I
It's a
didn't know
story
that.
that I made up and I'm repeating now, so it's definitely true. It's been verified twice by me.
All right.
On a platform that is my name. So, I mean, I don't see why you would doubt anything that's being said here, Purple Meat.
Yeah. All right, whatever. I get on you.
So, as always, Zach
no.
Zach started off working on the song before we got up here. Now, the idea stemmed from yesterday. You sent out, or the other day, said a text message. Why don't we do springtime psychedelia, as we said before? And we kind of wanted to go in the vein of Cream. That was like the starting point where we were looking to go. So,
Yeah.
Zach, what was the thought process behind what you were doing as far as the actual riff, the main riff, and the kind of the setup of the song?
I knew parts of it had to have the 12-bar blues,
Okay.
because that's what Eric Clapton does. And then the other riff, that downward descending riff, is like they have a bunch of other songs where when it's not like the 12-bar blues, it's just down descending riff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like Sunshine Your Love is it just a descending riff, even though they do play that in a 12-bar blues.
Right.
But like White Room, the beginning, even like the whole chord progression of White Room was like just steps down. A couple other songs. So that's what they did when they didn't do the 12-bar blues. So I decided to do both.
So you did both. Now, pretty much it's 3 parts for the whole song, right? 4 parts, maybe?
Yeah.
3-4 parts.
But there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
There is.
Now, you said how many layers are we at the end by the time you finished?
31.
31.
31.
And
31. Took a while to bounce down. There's a lot of stuff going
A
on.
lot of stuff going on. Now, this song has the distinction, I believe, in being the first song where drums were all done in one take for the most part, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we've done a
Came
song.
together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Came together pretty fucking
Probably
good.
like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Well,
within 15
we're not going to
20
say that we
minutes.
didn't like cut it up.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
it got cut up. It
yeah,
gets
yeah.
edited. We
But
we,
it's
we
basically
don't,
just all
we don't
one,
claim that we don't do that.
one take and with minimal cuts.
Yeah, minimal cuts. And then you added the bass part pretty much within like 5 minutes. And threw that right
About
on
as
there.
long as it took to listen to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it came to me to add the vocals, which I had started writing thinking, okay, we're going to go psychedelic with it. It's springtime psychedelia. Okay, spring's all about rebirth and new life. So I started writing, and I realized that I'm still in the mentality of writing
sorry.
really sweet, don't apologize for that, ever. Writing really, really sweet, epic, Nordic songs for our winter themed episodes, and when we went heavier with just that epic metal sound that we were doing on a couple of different songs.
Yeah.
But when you transition into warmer weather and it gets lighter and it gets goofier and it gets a little different, when you do the same style of lyrics to that different style of music, it goes from being this epic, rough Norse feel to just sounding like Flower Child bullshit.
Yeah, we were joking like galaxy.
Yeah, like
this
glue the
tree is
stars
awesome.
and the trees. And it's literally just the happy version of what the wintertime songs we were writing are. And so I wrote, like, honestly, more lyrics than I wrote for what wound up being the lyrics for the
You
song.
wrote too many lyrics.
Oh,
what
as
a surprise,
always, as always. I wrote 2
surprise.
songs worth of lyrics this week and only used one of those songs worth of lyrics because the other one just sounded a little too...
You just want to do these long songs with 14 verses.
I like 14 verses. I think that's a solid, even number. Why would you do 13? Why would you do 15? 14 is perfect.
Perfect.
It's exactly where you need to be.
Next week, we're writing a song with 14 verses.
All right. And each of those verses is going to have like 8 to 12 stanzas in the verse. It's going to be a very long verse. It's going to be a 37-minute song. And this will be the trap song that we do. It's going to happen.
37-minute trap song.
37-minute long trap song with,
Minute-long trap song.
with 14 verses
37
that are
minute
made
long
up
trap
of
song.
8 stanzas apiece. It's going to happen. It's going to work. But either way, so I kind of sat back and thought, okay, what are the lyrics of a lot of Cream songs? What are they about? And
The rainbow has a mustache.
exactly. You said there's just like they're all over the place. They're random. A lot of it doesn't make sense. So I kind of just didn't really.
I
think
made you
just
watch
started,
a video of them playing live.
Well, that
They
was
look
great.
like they're in pain.
They look like
Ginger Baker's so fucked
half
up that
asleep
he's
and falling
like,
over. Yeah.
off to the left of
But
his hi hat.
Are
Still
they
all
old
like-
in it? Or
No, that's like
No.
68,
Young, okay,
67,
yeah.
something
Like-
along those lines.
they
yeah.
partied.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
they
they definitely
fucking
did.
partied for sure. But
That's a great documentary, by the way. Beware of Mr. Baker, if you haven't seen it.
I didn't watch that
Watch
yet.
it.
I know that came out years ago, but I still have not
Watch
watched
it, damn it.
But yeah, so I basically just made the lyrics more about somebody that's on the verge of spiraling out of control into a psychedelic frenzy, more or less. It's kind of what we went with, and just about how everything repeats and everything's always on loop, and that feeling when you are potentially on a drug like LSD, where you just feel like you're stuck in a circle going over and over and over again. Now
I don't know what you're talking
I have no idea. This is all hypothetical. And so I stepped in to start doing the vocals, and as always, Zach tells me, cut half of the lyrics that you have written, like pretty much right now. Like go through and do
But I
a
say this
summary.
week, cut all the superfluous words.
Yeah, superfluous words. And so all the is, it's, ands, all the things that I kind of throw in there, think that they're going to be good accent points.
Right.
It kind of bogged it down. So with this song starts right off with the chorus. It's a very in your face. Actually, the last time we heard it, it was very in your face. I don't know what's become of it. But it's a
Just turned everything down to zero. It's
everything's
completely silent track, like in Pootie Tang.
and there's just maybe like some finger snapping in the background a little bit here and there, just so you know there's something going on.
It's actually just Zach rustling around upstairs, moving the chair back and forth.
Just tapping pencils off the desk and opening cans of beer into the microphone. And then here's your song, you motherfuckers. But this one,
It got a little out of control. This one.
Yeah.
it did, because
I mean,
while
you
I
just
was
kept-
trying to work on the lyrics, you just kept adding stuff. You added
Yeah.
a weird tail to the end. You added a little reference to our closing theme song, so you can pay attention to that. Potentially, that's still in the song. I'm assuming that made it.
Everything made it.
Okay, everything. So nothing got cut. Nothing got cut.
I
That's
just
good.
threw in some extra playing slide guitar with a lighter.
Yeah, you did do
There's
that.
a
That
bunch.
works really well.
It's
It
fun.
did work really
There's
well.
a bunch of guitar. Well, because also I was listening to Layla the other day. It was on the radio.
Fuck yeah.
You know, Eric Clapton, Dwayne Allman, slide
It's
guitar,
fucking
City.
harmonica in this.
There's harmonica. Well, Cream is a big harmonica band. I suck at the harmonica. There's
But you played it,
the
Zach.
bicycle
You
horn.
played it.
We all sing. But the structure and the sounds of it, there's like weird dubstep synth in one part. And just like,
So it sounds like a traditional Cream song, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
there's lots of stuff
okay.
Cream would never have put in a song.
Now,
Probably because it didn't exist.
what did we wind up at running time for this?
6 minutes and 59 seconds.
So just under 7 minutes, not breaking any records that we've set here in the past, but it is still a good sampling of a song, and it's you would still say psychedelic though. You would still say it's a psychedelic
it's
song.
trippy. Wait till you hear all the panning automation.
Yeah, you said earlier that we might throw up, we might puke from all the panning. That
Yeah,
you did.
well, I
yeah, I
didn't listen
forgot
to it in
about that,
headphones
dude.
yet. It might go
about that.
wild.
All right, all right.
I also made art for this.
Yeah, now we for the last couple of weeks, Zach has been doing artwork while we've
Poorly.
been working on it, working on the song. So he jumps back and forth between recording to making a design or fucking with a picture in some way. This week, Justin, you sent me a couple of things last night.
Yes.
So and then in turn named the song just by putting something in there
Well,
as a
because
placeholder.
it was just for the image.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, when I wrote it out just to have text,
Yeah.
that's what I called the image.
And then, so what is the name?
Soul Seeker.
Soul Seeker is the name of this
Yeah.
song. And you know what? There's a way that it works. There's definitely a way that this
Sure.
works. It might
so.
it might not be very clear to you, but perhaps
It
if
ain't
you were in
clear
the
to
right
us either.
if you were in the right mindset that we were not in when we wrote this, maybe if you were in the right mindset, it would make sense to you. So it's not our fault. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's your fault, listener, for not being in the right mindset for what this song might mean.
Get your game face
Get
on!
your game face on.
Get
All
your
right.
game face on,
Well,
little
without any
bitch.
further ado, I say let's jump into this 7-minute masterpiece that we have here. So this is Brunch with Kyle
It's more like a
Mocha.
Casey masterpiece.
Oh.
Because it's sticky.
It's sticky. So here is Soul Seeker. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. Enjoy the ridiculousness.
Rob Deerdeck.
Tell me one time, I won't hear it twice. Seasons are changing and so goes life. If you're gone forever, one more time. Warm weather is coming and the same blue light. Tell me one time, I won't hear twice. Seems not changing and so goes life. Make no bones about the reason things will always change and repeat the same. The way they always have. Change will happen again and again, the way they always have. The change will happen again and again. Make no bones about the reason things will always change and repeat the same, the way they always have. The change will happen again and again, the way they always have, again and again. Pieces of shit. Total experimental pieces of shit. Who total experimental pieces of shit.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
All
man.
right. That was Soul Seeker, our weekly brunch original single. God damn me, not being able to say
It's also a
words.
signal to the aliens.
It's a signal to the aliens. Now, I want to point out in the last bit there, if you're a fan and you've listened to our song at the end of the show, all the way to the end, and all the way through.
It was an opening song as well.
It was an opening song at one point. Some will be total experimental pieces of shit is one of the lines. So Zach wanted to throw that in there. And then, so he gets up to the mic and he starts singing that part over and over again. And then he starts kind of singing in Spanish.
Yeah, a little
underneath it, just going like experimentia, like bad Spanglish versions, and then he starts just kind of like talking in tongues, whispering into the microphone, and Justin and I are sitting on the couch next to him, just like listening, and it just sounds like he's going Spanish. I'm speaking Spanish. Spanish. I'm speaking Spanish. 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 And I'm like, what the hell is he singing? So Justin and I just start talking. So you can't really hear it, but buried deep underneath there, you have me sitting there going Spanish. I'm speaking Spanish. I'm speaking Spanish. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I'm looking for the six-fingered man. My name is Inigo Montoya. And then at the end of it, Justin just goes, what did you say, Justin?
Goonies never say die.
Goonies never say die. Goonies never say die. So we buried a lot in there.
Yeah.
That was a lot buried in there. But that is a fucking epic single right there.
Yeah, dude.
That an epic signal, just like a crop circle would be.
Keith
to the
is
aliens.
in chat now. There's a whole lot
Oh,
going on in the
hey,
chat.
brother. What we got going on in the chat over there?
It's delay pedal time from James.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. You were fucking around with the delay pedal, and you got some weird noises. You said that James-O the other day when he was over.
Oh, dude, the other day, the whole neighborhood must have heard us. We had his Mesa hooked up super loud
Yeah, it was fucking loud down here. Dude.
to
it was loud
just
down
to
here.
an amp,
With
recording
the door
it.
closed, it was coming through the mic perfectly.
It was it was coming through the mic perfectly, but it was making the house shake in the room, and he just he's starting to get into pedals, so we set out all my pedals and just hooked them up, hooked different ones into each other, and just played around till we got the delay to do the fucking. It was wilder when he did it because there was 12 other pedals in the chain, and the house is shaking. He's like, for 30 minutes. We must have did it the other night, and he learned I watched him how he when to twist it and when to.
Because it almost has
Just
a
give it the
theremin
thing.
sound to it in that
Yeah,
way.
you can find the notes in it.
And you said that you watched him do it, and then you kind of mimicked what he was doing there. When you did that, I thought, because I was looking down at the phone, writing dumb lyrics, and I thought you were playing guitar at that point.
No, there's no guitar.
And I looked up, and
plugged
you
in
just
at
went,
that
"There's
point.
no guitar plugged in right now," and I was like, "Holy fucking shit!" So is that just all then feedback off of that?
Yeah.
And you're just mixing it and just fucking around. That is
Yeah, it
fucking.
came out the sounds that you got came out really fucking well,
Now,
dude.
some other stuff I experimented with, I put auto-tune over that.
Okay.
So if I was a little off, it wouldn't be that bad, but
Right.
I could get melodies and
That's
just
pretty cool.
play them with a knob. It was fun.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah. What else is going on over here in the chat? We got brother joined over there.
Yeah, he's
Trying to
yelling
buy
at
things
Keith.
from me.
Or yelling
He's
at
trying
Rich
to
right now.
buy things from you online.
Well, specifically the pawn shop.
He's trying to buy things from the pawn shop.
He keeps asking me
About mandolins? Is it mandolins?
No, he's asking me about a banjo.
A banjo. Oh, that's what it is.
And season 2 of Sliders and/or Gilmore Girls.
Ooh, Gilmore Girls.
And/or
I have
And/or.
season 2 of Gilmore Girls. Now, did you hear? So let's talk about this. There's a rumor going around. I don't know how validated it is. They are potentially talking about bringing Sliders back.
Really?
They are.
Who is going to start? Are they
It would
is
be
the original cast?
That is the rumor that's going around. That John Rhys Davies and Jerry O'Connell would come back. I don't know if Wade is still acting. The chick that played Wade. I think.
Do they still do cons and shit like that? Comic-Cons
I
and stuff
believe
like
that.
Like, is it still?
Con-con.
I guess if they're bringing it back, there's people that want
Yeah,
to watch
people
it.
still watch it, and I think when it hit Netflix, I mean that was on Netflix for years. I don't think it is anymore, but it was on
I
Netflix
also
for
have a
years.
crybaby wallet, Keith.
Yeah, what did he say? He's
He's
got a
trying to
what?
buy a crybaby from Richard,
Oh,
or he was
Lord.
asking me if I had a crybaby.
So now Keith is just using this to buy. Richard has left. He is leaving.
This
He's
is
not gonna be
this
a
is
part.
against the YouTube.
Yeah,
fucking,
we are not allowed to sell you things on our show right here, and I apologize to YouTube and to the good
Only
lords
when we get our
above
merchandise
us
up.
on
Then you can
Well,
buy
let's
things
talk
from
about
us.
that actually real quick.
Okay.
We are doing.
This Friday we should have the shirts.
Yeah,
the
we're
test prints.
printing a run, a small run of a handful of shirts just to try it out, just to see how they look with our Kyle Mocha Won't Shut Up logo that Will Saminsky did for us. That if you're on YouTube right now, that's the image you see, and if you're on iTunes, that is also the image that you see. So we're looking at getting this
Grayscale,
kind of in a
though.
grayscale way.
Yes.
When we go live on YouTube, we'll put that up, or we used to put that up before the animated intro was there.
I do have an ad.
You do have an ad?
James says, "Man, you guys have an ad."
We have ad. Yeah, we got a lot of ads. I can add math. I can add
2 and 2 is 4. 4
I can add
and
all
4
the
is
numbers.
8. Bitch.
Yeah.
Come on, get some shit.
But we're going to be making those shirts, and then we're looking to set up an online store where you can kind of put our logo on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
And be able to
And
get
I think
coffee
we're going
cups,
to do
t-shirts,
some limited
hats.
art for like the singles as posters if anybody likes that.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
You know what I
because
mean?
the wonderful way that the internet works is you don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on merchandise. You can set up a store where you don't have to print anything until somebody orders it.
Yes.
And so we're looking to get that kind of going, which will be awesome. And once it's up and running, you will all be the first to know.
Yes.
Because who else are we going to tell? Not you? I don't think we would tell not you.
Should we not tell him?
Maybe we shouldn't. Let's go back. We're not live, right? We can go back a
we
couple of
can edit
minutes.
this.
I got ads, so I don't know what's going on anymore. Who's ad?
Alternate dimensional demons.
All right, I got some alternate
yeah.
dimension demons. All right.
Alternative to this demon dimension.
Are you
Alternative Disney
just trying to sing some
demigods?
Motley Crue over there? Just trying
He's
to sing some
auditioning for Motley Crue.
Yeah.
I think all four of us are going to be replacing Vince
Yes.
Neil any day now as the lead singers of Motley Crue. So in the world of music, what I want to kind of talk about here in our final segment.
Okay.
For the last 20 years,
4 years.
Nickelback has been known.
Are they making a movie?
No.
Oh.
I would love to see that biopic, though. I would love to see him marry Avril Lavigne. Who would they get to play Avril Lavigne? I don't know.
Probably just Avril Lavigne.
Yeah.
Hey, you doing anything?
No.
All right,
Kristen
well,
Bell will play Avril Lavigne real good.
Probably.
She'll be real good at that.
Yo, doesn't she
and
have a
then
movie
Dax
on
Shepard
Netflix?
can play the lead singer of Nickelback. That
I
works
believe-
out
I believe
perfectly.
Kristen Bell has a new movie on Netflix
I don't know.
about Groundhog's Day, basically.
Really?
But it's called Russian Doll.
Oh, no. Russian Doll is a series that is, I forget what the actress's name is, but she was, back in the day, she was in the slums of Beverly Hills. She was in...
maybe it wasn't Russian Doll. It's another movie where she just keeps waking up, but she dies, comes back, dies, comes back.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the TV show The Good Place that she's on, where
Maybe,
she's just in heaven or hell
No,
repeatedly?
no.
I don't
Maybe,
know.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I just
never
know it's
seen
on
it.
Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But she would
Something.
make a really great
I can't
Avril
remember
Lavigne.
people's names.
So Nickelback, for years they've been lauded as the worst band in rock
thanks,
and roll.
James.
They are repetitive. They are boring. They took the sounds that happened in the 90s and just kind of melded them together into this very acceptable version of what that rock was at that time, and kind of just beat the dead horse for 10 years doing the same thing over and over and over again. At one point, there was a website that you could go on, and they played one of their first singles that they released, and then their like third or fourth single. One out of the right speaker, one out of the left speaker, and you hit play, and it played both of them at the same time, and the songs matched up almost perfectly. Like they literally were stealing from themselves, and it was terrible. But in the world of music today,
Look at this graph.
look, this graph is oh, that's a great meme right there. That is a fucking great video all around.
It is.
But in the world of music today, Nickelback it's kind of like making fun of Rat in the early 2000s. It's like that's so old, that's so played out. Obviously, they were bad. Everybody knew they were bad. And if you like them,
Dude, Rat is sort
Is
of
it-
cool.
Rat is sort of cool for
Now,
like
though.
a song now.
So you're saying Nickelback caught it at the last moment, but ended up blowing up?
No, I'm just saying Nickelback right now is so far in the past that they're not really in the conversation anymore. They don't release current music that is hitting the charts. But one band that for the last 7-8 years that has been releasing music regularly that has now dethroned Nickelback as the worst band in rock and roll according to some is Imagine Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Probably. Very
So
close.
what I want to do here is just kind of discuss them as a band. All of us here are musicians. And I'm sure all of us have heard a song of theirs. Maybe it was when they first came out. Was it Radioactive? Was like that first big hit where you were like, "This isn't terrible."
I forget,
and that's the
them.
problem. I think with them right off the bat was you're like, "Okay, I get what you're doing here, and this isn't terrible." But when I first heard Radioactive, I assumed that was the one song that sounded like that got popular, and that they had other music, kind of in the 90s when Sugar Ray got big on one big, soft, easy song, but Mean Machine was way better, and they had all this other shit like prior to that. I assumed that they had a lot better music, and they did have an album or two when they were in Las Vegas that was kind of derivative of that show tuney kind of more vibrant way, but then they got epic and they got serious and deep, and every single fucking song I've ever heard from that band sounds exactly the fucking same.
Well, I think that's the problem with radio. There's times where I will just put on the radio, start driving down the road, and another like two songs will two songs will come on, and I'm like, is this the same fucking artist? But it's no different than Five Finger Death Punch and like the metal fucking scene for radio. Like that's you know, they're the Nickelback of metal.
Well, that's funny that
or
you bring
they took
them up.
Nickelback.
I was looking
for that heavier.
I was looking online to kind of see, because I had seen an article, and what brought this to my mind is that Corey Taylor said that he is the one that officially said that they are the new Nickelback, that they are the ones that have taken over. So coming from Corey Taylor, who was in a prominent band when Nickelback was hitting, and probably had a lot of like hatred for them at that point.
More than likely,
it cuts a little deeper, I think. But a lot of people, Smashing Pumpkins lead singer Billy Corgan has come out against them. A lot of bands have, and
like
people
come out,
that are
like don't like. They're just
that
like
they
fuck
say
these guys.
basically these guys are just. They're the worst. That they are going to sell out arenas for a couple of years. They are going to release these huge songs.
Were they a formed band? Because sometimes like that shit happens.
From what I gathered today, just doing like kind of like a brief research on them, they're from Vegas. They have gone through a lot of lineup changes. Okay. I think the lead singer and one of the guitar players, maybe the drummer, are the kind of the solid backbone. There was a chick in the band at one point, but a lot of people kind of come and gone. And for their sound, there's a lot of additional musicians that they can kind of add in. So I think it just has, as they've progressed into what they are now, which kind of feel like they're like 21 Pilots light, which sounds weird because 21 Pilots isn't that heavy in any way. They aren't that. I mean, they're better, but they're not that deep and that super meaningful in the broadest of terms. But they do sound like a put together group. They do sound like a Lou Pearlman boy band. Like Maroon 5's big right now. Puddle of Mud
was put together, I believe.
Puddle of Mud was?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But like Five Finger Death Punch was a band that came up when I was researching today on other bands that are in that same level of disrespect.
I feel like he's always singing about his mom or his dad.
See, I don't know if I could pull out
ever heard.
A Five Finger Death Punch song, but anytime that I've heard a song on the jukebox at work and I've gone over and it's been Five Finger Death Punch, it's usually me going, "Who the fuck is this? I want to make sure I never hear this ever again." And I walk over and it's process. It's just boring. It's not a good time. But I think my thoughts on the actual the Imagine Dragons situation is that they are repetitive. They are doing exactly what Nickelback did, where they picked a genre, they picked a sound, and then they just keep repeating it over and over and over again. And it's something that has been proven to not be sustainable. You have to change, you have to evolve in some way. And they kind of just keep making the same sad, dramatic song that sounds like it would be a great soundtrack song to like a teenage melodrama.
Stained syndrome.
Yeah. Oh god.
We're like, fuck it, we're writing ballads all of the time. Everything sounds fucking same.
Yeah.
People love this shit.
This worked once. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Have you seen the videos of him like freaking out at people?
The Imagine Dragons guy?
Oh, the guy from Stained.
Oh no. What's that?
Oh, this is new.
Aaron Lewis.
He's like a country dude now, right?
Well, he tours as a solo act, right? And
and
he does this thing. It's a terrible idea. where the last song that he does, he doesn't use the sound system, and he just sings it
with an acoustic guitar.
Yeah, without a mic or anything,
and hoping the whole room joins in, or hoping that everybody shuts up and they can hear him.
Hoping that everyone stays quiet enough that he can do it.
Yeah,
and it's like. Obviously, it never works.
Yeah. I mean,
because there's going to be some asshole talking, and because he's
by
so
the end
quiet,
of the show, from a guy that used to be in Stained, I'm assuming most everybody schlitzed out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Probably.
So like, and he does
they're drinking warm cans of Schlitz,
and he starts acting like a like a middle school teacher. He keeps doing the stop and pause, like,
oh.
He's like, if you guys want me to keep going.
Fuck you.
You better be quiet.
And
then he just starts going off.
That's you.
And like freaking out. And then like, and it's like, I feel bad for the guy because like, I mean,
he used to have a career.
Oof.
I mean, he's keeping it going somehow, dude.
Now,
hey, I can always shit upwards, all right? I don't like to shit down. I'm going to shit up at the guy from Stained all the time.
By the way, James,
but it's just like,
I like 21 Pilots. Fuck off, bro.
James of shit talking.
I do. I like that band. Sorry,
dude. I saw that motherfucker.
They have a couple songs that I'm like.
The new album is really fucking good.
He stage dived on a drum set.
And
you ever see that video?
I have not.
I saw
straight out of
in
Travis Barker School of Drumming.
Yeah, 100%.
Drum set on a piece of plywood, sent it out into the crowd at a festival. Jumped off the stage, landed on the drum set, and they crowd surfed him all the way out while playing drums and back.
That's cool.
The wildest shit.
That's a good fucking show.
Those dudes are talented musicians. There's just two of them.
Yeah. I don't care about the imagery or anything they're trying to do.
The music they make with just two guys is like, I mean, it's not for me necessarily, but I can respect what they're doing.
But I saw them do that shit on stage, and immediately, I don't even have to... If I never listen to them again, I'm just going to continue to say I like them because that shit was just so goddamn impressive.
But they are one of those bands that I think have enough... they're not the deepest band in the world, but they might have enough depth to evolve beyond exactly what they are doing now.
Well, I think the reason I like them so much is pretty much every song on the album, every album they do is different. You know what I mean? It has a different feel. Some are hip-hop, some are pop songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like...
Keeping it fresh in that way within... I mean, it's still within their...
the way they would write their song.
Yeah. But, I mean, wasn't it them that... Was it Mute Math? And That was one of the coolest performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, and that's what actually got
that was my first introduction to them.
If you have not watched that video, watch the Mute Math and...
21 Pilots. That
session is really fucking
grade
good.
A. That was
you showed me that actually,
solid.
And that was where
such a cool performance.
I mean, I think for 21 Pilots as a whole, again, not huge on them. That drummer is fucking fun to listen to. He is fun to watch play.
He's good.
Again, the Travis Barker School of Drumming.
He's a good-looking boy too. Both of them good-looking gentlemen.
The vocalist himself. I mean, anybody could be the vocalist for that duo, in my opinion. But he pulls his weight.
Just need to get Big Pat. No.
Well, I think he writes he plays all the instruments.
He plays all the instruments. Okay, that would make sense there.
Except the drums.
But the drummer is just what stood out for me. And I always find that in a lot of the bands that I'm not big fans of, if their drummer or their bass player is phenomenal or just entertaining or is doing something that stands out in one way,
like the All-American
really
Rejects.
good looking like the lead singer / bass player of All American Rejects, who looked just like Tom Welling from Smallville, and everybody got so confused. Two of them got real famous at the same time.
That band was only ever
everybody thought they were the same guy.
Really?
Yeah, they came through Stroudsburg about 6 months before they popped up, and they played at Toast to me, my buddy Randy, and about like 7 other people on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
And I think I probably told it on the show before, but they came in and they played, and it was a good performance. And nobody was there to see them, and 6 months later they were the biggest fucking band on MTV. But it is definitely a lot because they were good looking guys. You can't fucking take that away from them. And maybe that's Zach. Is that why we're not successful? Because I'm ugly.
So you guys need a ring light.
Yeah, we
need
one.
Start zooming in on all your faces.
Yeah,
and you gotta start making pouty faces.
Oh, okay. Can I do a thing where I've got like luau fucking flowers all over my head to make me look prettier and more acceptable to the Snapchat generation?
Yes.
Do you think that'll open us up?
This is the way to the top.
This is the way to the top.
Dinosaur.
People that would see us on, say, iTunes, the only picture you've ever seen us is this picture right here.
Yeah.
We look like fucking
degenerates.
What? I'm not sweating my ass off in that picture at all.
Zombies in that.
Justin is a zombie, and again, Zach's face there is Charles Manson's face. That's what it is based on. He looks like Charles Manson.
Guys,
yes.
my mom remembers Toast.
Oh, hell yeah. Toast is a great time. But, so back to Imagine Dragons. Is there any other bands?
Can we get into this beer, too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, can we talk about this beer?
Yeah,
Let's talk about this beer. I haven't even opened
I'm halfway
this one
through.
Yet. You're halfway
Can I
through.
get that bottle opener?
All right, so Imagine Dragons, again, it kind of taking up the, oh no.
Just what happened?
Break a headphone? I think we broke a headphone. Oh, no.
Oh, wait.
Hey! Save the headphone.
It's all good.
Resurrection of the headphone. All right, that could have been bad right there.
I couldn't tell if that was wire.
But
or
Imagine Dragons now being said to be the worst band on the face of the planet as far as rock and roll goes.
From actual musicians.
From actual
famous
musicians.
People.
Is there any band as a musician, aside from, you said Five Finger Death Punch, but as a musician, is there any band in the last decade or so that you think has gotten way too much credit, way more than they deserve, or that isn't doing anything too amazing that you think, okay, what the hell, why are they the ones on top here?
Volbeat,
yeah.
I'm not familiar with Volbeat. Who's Volbeat?
They play the Sherman like every year.
Really?
That's the only reason I know about them. And so apparently they're actually really cool guys.
I think they're Danish.
I've seen them at the bar.
Like the
and I talked to them. And I've never
wherever.
really listened. I listened to their music after meeting them.
Okay.
So they're like, oh, we're playing the Sherman. We're in this band called Volbeat. And like, you know, and they're,
we're in this band called
and they're actually like really humble, like nice dudes. So it was like kind of disappointing when I looked them up and I was like,
aww.
Did you see them live at all?
No, I didn't.
Because any time that I've seen them, because I think they opened for Deftones or something. I've been to concerts where they've been.
I got to that show right when Deftones started.
See, every time that I've seen them, which is twice, they always start to play like Slayer, and they're just like, no, we can't do that. It's just like, what? Wait, what?
What did they start doing? Raining Blood?
Yeah, and then and then just stop.
They just cock tease the whole crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Did they at least do the first riff?
Yeah, I think just the main dude, like the singer / one of the guitarists.
Oh, so it's just guitar?
Yeah.
Oh no! The drummer didn't even join.
No.
Lordy.
No.
Why would you even try?
That's not how you know.
Let's not.
Yeah.
That's not. So
Don't
okay.
do
So
it.
Volbeat's one. Before we go on to our next one, let's talk about this beer real quick here.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
This is
It
the
is,
Dogfish Head and the
surprisingly
Grateful
good.
Dead present American Beauty Pale Ale, 6.5%. Now Dogfish Head's phenomenal.
Yeah.
They are the staple. I would say that they are one of the first IPAs I ever tasted.
This is light.
And 120 is possibly the greatest IPA I've ever had for how much it fucks you up, but it doesn't really taste like you're going to get that fucked up on it.
Have you ever had Worldwide Stout from them?
I've not had Worldwide Stout.
So Worldwide Stout is kind of like the dark cousin of 120 Minute.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a dark, heavy stout. It's like also like 18 to 22%.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what 120 Minute is too, depending on the batch.
Yeah.
So I went to a Dogfish Head restaurant.
Made that mistake.
In Maryland, right?
Yes.
It was a restaurant owned by Dogfish Head, and they put out food that they pair with the Dogfish Head beers and stuff like
Very
that.
cool.
So I had what do you call that when you put the light beer with the dark beer?
Oh, the black and tan?
So I had a black and tan. They called it a heaven and hell.
Okay.
With 120 Minute and Worldwide Stout, and they got them on top of each other.
Jesus.
It was amazing.
Dude, I bet there was...
It was like really, really good.
There was a night about like 2 years ago while I was working the door at Floods. Me and my buddy Tyree went over to Trackside, and we were going to have a couple beers, and then he was going to drop me off at work, and I said, hey, what do you have IPA wise on tap? And the guy goes, oh, we've got Dogfish 90 Minute on tap. I was like, oh, you have that on tap? Sweet.
Yep.
Awesome. I've never had that on tap. And I had 3 of them.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I got the bill, and I look at the bill, and the bill says Dogfish 120 Minute, and I'm like, hey, is this 90-minute or 120-minute here? And it was actually 120, and they had it on tap.
What?
And I drank 3 of them, and then do not remember the first 2.5 hours of that shift. Plenty of kids might have tried to get in. I'm sure I stopped them. But I really do not. I just remember Dante walking up to me going, "You need something to eat or anything, man?" And I was like, "Dogfish 120-minute." He goes, "Fuck," and just walked away. And I was like, "Fuck my life." But that shit, like, they weren't pricing it the right way either. Like, it was way too cheaply priced.
What were they charging?
I think I paid like $9 for a pint of it. And
that's really good.
Yeah, and I had 3, maybe 4 of them. Again, do not remember at all the first 2 hours.
I paid $15.20 for a bottle.
Yeah. No, that
James
shit,
brings up a good point.
Yeah.
Saying that it is quite amazing what happens when you're not in on how strong your booze is.
It really is weird. The first time I had Mad Elf was at Floods, and Psycho did not warn me that I was drinking whatever 11% beer.
Yeah.
And I had it on tap in the goblet. I had 3 of them again, and then I stood up to go outside to smoke a cigarette, and I got all wobbly, and my knees started to fucking go. And he goes, "Yeah, maybe you shouldn't kill 3 11% beers in 40 minutes." And I was just like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? Why would you?" Oh, like it's the feeling of like I got dosed or something. Like, what the hell just happened here?
Yeah.
Oh. But either way, this beer it's easy to drink. This is a nice, light, fucking just good American pale ale style.
It's very... Yeah,
I've enjoyed all of the beers today.
That's all you can really say about it. It's just like nice beer.
I said, hey, that's a nice beer.
That's a nice beer.
It's a nice beer. So
I'm
if you see it, it's got the little Grateful Dead bears on there clinking some beer steins. It's fucking delicious. I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, you could drink this all day.
This is kind of like an all day IPA. It's almost in the saison way, but at 6.5%, you'd be a little bit more fucked up all day.
The Space Dust you can drink too, and you're good.
Space Dust, really, yeah. I mean, I finished that quicker than I thought it was going to be. It only took 45 minutes for me to get through that one. Which is pretty quick for me in an IPA. Now, Richard, you also brought a beer along that we were kind of starting to drink earlier. I still have not gone through. This is the Galaxy Pale Ale Glorious.
Yeah. Zach, there's one for you in the fridge.
And there is it's from Lord Hobo Brewing Company.
Lord Hobo.
Hobo.
It is really good.
I love Lord Hobo.
It's a great name.
My favorite.
I love you, Lord Hobo.
My favorite beer from them is Boom Sauce.
Which
is kind of like this beer is like
Evil Brother,
older, nastier cousin.
Okay,
nice.
You know, it's like a heavy IPA, but this stuff it's.
I popped this open before we went live, so it's warmed up just a little bit, but it is still smooth. It doesn't have
good.
Not a really heavy bitter taste. I thoroughly enjoy when an IPA knows how to balance the hops, because as I said in the past, hops to me are like, are like garlic. I love garlic, but I don't want to eat just a plate full of garlic cloves.
Exactly.
I want it to be a part of the dish and accent the dish, and in this way, I want it to accent the beer. Zach, first taste, what's your thought there?
Oh man, it's
a beer.
It's
good. It's bad.
It's got a high end zing to it.
High end zing.
It's got a little bit of zing. It's the Galaxy hops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
it's a brighter.
Galaxy hops are bright, but they have like a tight bite at the end.
Yeah, it's weird that now I can like
taste it.
I can taste a beer and use the terms bright and dark to describe it.
Yeah.
But this is bright.
Yeah.
I can see that being weird after drinking the pale ale here too.
Yeah, I'm going back and forth.
Well, you're going from a pale ale to
the pale ale
right?
tastes like a light beer after you take a sip of that and go back.
I can see that. Yeah,
which is enjoyable and a nice way to
That's how you're supposed to drink
for
IPAs.
a pale ale, this is nice. This is like Sierra Nevada pale ale.
Yeah, no,
really
it is really good.
It definitely
You guys
is.
have not had that nail abomination.
The fog, no.
Oh my god,
I haven't
that's
had the fog. I did have Midnight Snack.
Yeah, we
I
had
had
that
them.
on the show when they came on. So we
Yeah, all of their
Yeah.
stuff has been great.
yeah,
Rotting
Midnight
Earth.
Snack and fog was what you had.
the fog.
Yeah.
The fog is it's another Galaxy. It is probably the best. I will say it's the best IPA I ever had.
Did you guys try Rotting Earth?
No.
From them?
Yeah.
That might have been one of the other ones I think that we tried when they came on.
He gave me 2 cans of Midnight Snack, 2 cans of Rotting Earth, and they were both incredible.
Dude, everything that they're doing is phenomenal. I can't believe like the kind of the
it's
traction
good to hear.
they're getting right
It's good to hear that they're going to be in stores.
Years, I'm like, yo, I cannot wait until I can go to the store.
Yeah.
And just buy a 6-pack of Abomination whenever I want to.
Yeah, just walk into Weiss and just
they're
go to the
good
local
dudes
section.
too, man. Like,
yeah,
they're good people.
I've known Joe for a long time.
Since he was a youngin' in a hardcore band.
Yeah, exactly.
Since he was crushing thine enemies or whatever it was at that point.
Crush thine enemies. Yeah.
Crush thine enemies.
That was the name of his band.
That was the name of Keith's band. I think he was one of the vocalists for. And then something that sounded like Bleed the Dream, but it wasn't Bleed the Dream. Paid in Blood. That was the other one. Paid in Blood. That was another one.
Man, we had great band names.
Oh, a lot of good band names.
I missed the whole noun the verb thing.
Noun the verb. 3-word band. That was the 3-word band. I remember that was a name. At one point, fuck the Pope. Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
I'm sure that was a band name at some point.
Oh, we should do a hardcore song where the only words are noun the verb.
Noun the verb.
Fuck the Pope.
Walk
Eat that berry. Walk that dog out.
Eat that berry?
Yeah.
I like
Eat
that.
that berry.
That should be the band name. Eat that berry.
Should I eat that berry?
Oh,
Eat
did I
that
tell
berry.
you? Mine and James's fake band
Uh-huh.
has a new name. We've changed it.
Okay.
House the boat.
I can't remember what it was called before. It was really long and confusing. It had like computer words in it.
Okay.
But now it's called Make Your Own Snake.
Make your own snake.
Make your own snake. I like it.
So,
Is that like make your own fate, but make your own snake? Or,
I don't know.
Where did it come from? Anywhere?
It's the new translation of "Don't Tread on Me."
Don't tread on me. Oh, which is also Zach's "Don't Trend on
Don't
Me."
trend on
Don't
me.
trend on me.
Yo,
Oh,
we
man,
can
you
make
got an
those
album
shirts
name.
now.
Make your own snake album. Don't trend on me.
We can make the "Don't Trend on Me" shirts now with the
We're
new
trying
store
to
we're
get
gonna do.
0 plays on YouTube.
Yeah.
0?
Yeah.
Do not want. Don't trend on me.
We're looking for -10 plays.
Yeah. If people could start like unlistening in some way, if you could start like uploading anti-versions of ours, so it
All
just
you have to
negates
do is figure out a time machine,
Yeah.
go back in time, and tell yourself not to listen to this.
Oh, they're
shit.
gonna say "kill me when I was a baby."
Well,
They
you
wouldn't
could-
have
well,
noticed. There were a lot of them, you know. You could have just
one fell off the wagon.
Yeah, what the hell? That kid, oh yeah, he's gone. The fat one's gone. Less food's gonna be eaten now. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
What about if that happened?
Yeah.
But then the result of it that everything you did, Craig just did instead.
Craig just did instead, so it was Craig Boca won't shut up right here.
Yeah. Like Craig was our buddy. You just never existed.
I just never existed.
And Craig was just you.
Maybe the world would be a better place.
Without
Maybe the world would be a weirder place. I think it would
Maybe
be. I think
it would
it'd
definitely be a weirder place.
I think it'd be a sadder place without me in it. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty fucking funny.
You just don't shut
I'm
the
pretty
fuck up
fucking
ever, dude.
amazing.
I mean,
Honestly, I
we're
think I'm a
sitting
pretty
here,
goddamn
I'm
good-looking
listening
guy
to
all
you.
around.
sucking our own cocks
I
this whole
think
episode.
that if I could suck my own cock for an entire episode, I would, and we get the most views on that.
Kyle, shut the fuck up.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. All right, before we wrap up, does anybody have any other bands that they think are worse than Imagine Dragons at this moment in time? Any bands?
Make your own snake.
Make your own snake. I think that's a good way to go out there. So you know what? Fuck Make Your Own Snake and all the repetitive bullshit music that they're gonna release in the future. But I do want to say, Richard, thank you very much for stopping by and
man.
hanging out with us tonight.
Thanks
good
for
to see
having
you,
me.
man.
Who knows what this episode would have been without you? Who fucking knows? It would have been 40 minutes shorter, and maybe worse. It might have been worse, but it would have been shorter at least. But thank you, big thanks to Richard for coming in. As always, a big thank you to Mr. Justin Olimpedo for putting everything
whatever,
together. Yeah, fuck you. And then Mr.
Check out our
Zachary
merch.
Fuck the Pope.
Stormin. Fuck the Pope.
Zachary, fuck the Pope. Make your own snake
You
story.
think we
Yes.
should have a beer rating on the website?
On the website, on the beers that
Our
we've
beer
had.
ratings
For
on
each
the
beer that
show.
we've
We
had.
have to start rating them.
We could do that. We could start doing that in
that'd be
season
cool.
3. Yeah. Just start doing our own little ranking each week by week, what we had, how we feel it plays against the others. We can
Find
do
out
all
what
that.
the
gotta
ultimate
think
beer
of-
is.
We got to think of some, maybe make up some test sheets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some quantifiable quantities where we could, we pick some categories so we can rate it like Doug's score.
Doug's
Yeah,
score.
we could do.
I don't know if
do
anyone
that
else
too.
watches Doug.
Nope.
But
I mean, I watched Doug, but not Doug's score.
Car.
He's a car guy.
Beer science, but better. Keith says new podcast, Silent Craig, where he don't say shit.
Where he don't say shit. Hell yeah. Well, that'll be also coming to you from Moot.tv for sure. Yeah. For sure, because where else would you get it? All right. Well, then, hey, a big thank you to Moot.tv for putting out our show every single week. You can check out our episodes dropping on Mondays alongside Let Me Ask You a Question, and once in a while White Wasabi will be putting out some stuff as well, talking about different animes that they enjoy watching. But every Monday, the Moot Mondays for us, and Let Me Ask You a Question. Big thank you to Eric and Anthony and Gregaman over there, taking all the questions that they ask and making it into hilarious banter. And then for Eric specifically for putting out our show every week. Thank you.
Just figure out a way, whether through Discord or something, to get them on the show.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and I got to get on their show as well. And you know, I'm just not tech savvy, so it's all you helping me out and doing that shit.
We can figure that out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, next week, tune in where we will be joined by Mr. Mikey Martino, and we will be discussing the happenings of the first episode of Game of Thrones Season 8.
Hell yeah. And so then you said that we're going to do a overall.
I think next, when we come back in June, we're going to have Mean Mark Miller come back on, and we're going to do a season/series recap, because it'll be wrapping up while we're on break in May. We're taking the month of May off so we can all solely focus on Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We need to invest as much time as we possibly can into watching, rewatching, and spanking the meat to that every chance you get. Oh, you see those snow buns there? You're just going to spank that meat.
I'm excited, but
there's Daenerys buns under there. Ugh.
No, I want to see the conclusion.
I want to see how it goes.
I want to see what
and you know what? If you don't like it, there are 2 more books coming out from George R. R. Martin over the next 30 years at some point.
Within the fucking universe.
Oh yeah, there's multiple shows that they're optioning that are going to be prequels throughout that universe that don't have to do with dragons or the White Walkers.
Just keep giving me stories within that world.
It's going
to be fun. As long as the acting is good, acting and writing is
as long as you keep the story suspense level up there and keep everybody guessing, and the idea that nobody's safe.
Yeah,
that is always what's gonna keep me.
That's what
watching.
happened. I was talking to you about it earlier.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead fell into that fucking trap, not being able to kill off characters.
You can't kill people off because everybody.
And then
loves
when they
them
did,
too much.
what happened?
They had to bring them back immediately because everybody was in an uproar.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No.
Especially in a character that didn't even exist in the original comics. Like that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll be back next week to talk more about Game of Thrones. But for now, here is our closing theme song to play us out. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a good rest of your night, day, whenever you're fucking listening to this.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, listener.
Fucking thing sucks.
Why are you still here? Why did you sit through this? There's something wrong with you, man.
Yeah, man.
There's something wrong with you, man.
Or are you okay? Did you take something?
I think I did.
You okay, man?
Did you sneak me duster?
Are you okay?
I think I just got dusted.
I don't know.
All right. We'll see you next week, fuckers. Bye-bye.
Moot.tv.
There's nothing more egomaniacal than singing the theme music for your